Okay, Joanna and John, let's see what you got here for us. All right. It's a good start. You're getting there. Okay, to start with, yeah, Joanna, this is yours. Okay, so I love this font. It's, those circles are beautiful. It's nice and wide. But I got to tell you that stack type, that's what this is. It's considered hard to read. So what designers do instead is they put it on their side like you did over here. The other thing is, if the logo is Gill Sans, then you want to be consistent. You wouldn't change the logo to 3 different typefaces, right? Other than that, I think you can do a little bit more work. You can think about what are these features and benefits. How can you showcase this phone better? Let me see. The photo itself looks a little blurry. Could you increase the brightness contrast? Could you make it larger? I'm not getting a real sense of who your audience is. So work on consistency. Show me the phone. And then think about what else you can do to make this look more like a real thing. Like I like this back. I like how it's simple, but maybe you want to put a barcode here or one of those scanner code squares. All right, and John, this is yours. Okay, so drop shadows are not really something you see in design anymore, especially professional design. And then, I mean, this looks like it was done in Word. This is sort of like a old-fashioned style drop shadow. Keep it simple and clean. Take the drop shadows off. I do like how you did the logo. That makes sense. But, think about the layout first. Think about showing the phones. Think about the legibility before you go in and add effects. And the reason for that is the effects are fun to do while you're working on it. But what that does is it distracts you from the actual layout challenge. So think about what works, get all the pieces in place, and then look, go for a contemporary look. Look at modern day design. I don't know what kind of phone you have. Let me go to, I don't know, I have an iPhone. Let me show you. Everything they do, you probably realize by now, is just slick, simple. I mean, look at that. It's so beautiful. Who's your audience? I guess that's my other question. If your audience is a younger person, look at like T-Mobile. I think they're kind of famous for, having early 20s type of clients. But, the hot pink, the purple, the slick black, bright, simple, in your face, no drop shadows. The type is easy to read. It's a nice grid. I mean, I don't know what other kind of phones there are out there, but you probably do. So take a look at that. The other thing I wanted you to see, here's a site that you might find very informative. Design Shack, there's a lot of cool tutorials on here. They update it all the time. But they also talk about design trends. And they have a nice summation of what's not done anymore on here. Bevel emboss, the glossy, which I used to love. It's too bad it's just overdone looking. So everything's nice and simple now. Readability is really important, so something like this doesn't work. Instead, put more craft into it, right? Starburst, it looks like newspaper advertising. So instead, you do see a drop shadow here, but it's so slight. You've got a couple drop shadows. They're very subtle. They're not, jet black. And then it talks a lot about the drop shadows. So it just is a little, it was a real dated look when the software first came out, like Apple, Adobe, not Apple, but Adobe Photoshop, etc. came out. One of the things the software had was drop shadow. So you would see drop shadows on everything. But instead, the look to go for is subtle. Subtle and pared down. All right, keep going. Let me know if you have any questions.